Marisa Sullivan, welcome to the show.
Hi, Lindsay.
We have so much to talk about for those of you guys watching. Marisa is a journalist and an actress. She also, if you guys follow my blog and my YouTube channel, I got my dream job, and it was because my resume landed in her email. So she's the reason my dreams came true. She is just such a powerful person. Not only did she make my dreams come true, but she's currently battling cancer during the coronavirus, and I just think her story is so inspiring. So, it was just your final day of chemo. How are you feeling?
So when I just get up from the bed really quick, or I take a walk, or I do just like a few like lunges or a squat or something, my heart rate, I wear this Apple Watch, and my heart rate skyrockets up. It seems like I've been sprinting on the treadmill. So that gets kind of scary. So I have to keep an eye on that, because the drugs are very hard on your heart. When you get, so I was on 20 doses, 20 weeks of chemo. It doesn't stay, it leaves your body kind of like a week later. So once I got toward the last 4 treatments, they were 2 weeks apart instead of every week. So that gave me a little break. So then like the second week, I felt like myself, which was nice. So I got little glimpses back of myself. I have like a little port. I have a device that's inside my arm.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I remember when you got that surgery.
There you go. You can kind of see it. It's kind of cool. I'm going to get a tattoo over it eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe like a ribbon or something. But so yeah, they hook you up, and it's not that bad. It's like an hour and a half. You don't feel anything when the drugs are going through you. It's afterwards you feel a little dosed from the uppers and the downers, and they give you steroids and Benadryl, and like that's the thing. It's not just the chemo drugs. You're on like all sorts of things. So it's just trying to stay sane is hard at times. But you know what? I feel pretty good. And how you see me now, I was like this the whole time.
I wanted to talk about your hair, because you use this cooling thing in your hair. She doesn't look like the traditional cancer patient. But we're gonna get into what she did mentally.
And I lost it a little bit, like right now.
Oh, it's pretty.
Right now I'm pulling out hairs, but I have, it's fine, but I have a lot of it. That was one of my first questions when I got diagnosed. Because keep in mind, at first I didn't know it was triple negative, and it was just stage 1. So I was like, all right, calm down. What's going on with the hair? Like, I didn't care about it.
Yeah, no, because your hair is your identity.
But God, yeah, Dignitana is the company, and they absolutely deserve a huge shout out, because I cannot believe, I didn't know that this existed. It just goes down tight over your head, and it literally freezes your head, I think, to like 32 degrees. And it's connected to this coolant, this machine that's just pumping this like ice cold, fluid through your, throughout this product. And it was really, really tough at first, but I got used to it, and it was pretty damn cold. It was freezing.
I don't know how you did any of that. I can't even imagine what I would do sitting with a 32-degree cap of ice on my head.
Here's the thing. Like, I kind of I've sailed through this, not truly sailed 100%, but compared to other cancer patients and chemo patients, I've done like tremendous, and it's been crazy. However, you do notice it, like, even though my spirit, I seem like myself, I look like myself to a certain extent. I can feel it on my heart, and yeah, now it's all done. So I'm going to start gradually just feeling stronger and stronger and stronger.
So where does the strength come from? Because if people read my blog too, you're diagnosed with cancer, and it's stage 1, then it rapidly progresses to, the most aggressive kind. And then you have to get, we haven't talked about this yet, but then you have to go get your eggs frozen because you want to be able to have children, and you might not be able to after chemo. And then you have to get chemo, and then it's the coronavirus. And
I know, like, what?
It's hard to deal with.
Oh my God. Like, really? I mean, I'll do anything for a good story, but this is a little far-fetched even for me. God, well, you know what? And I read that you included something like this on your blog with somebody else you had written about right before me. I've been listening to the Calm app, and something resonated with me, how, in this time, you, like, all these people you have to be comfortable with like discomfort, basically, because you have to embrace the unknown. You have no way to tell like what's ahead. And I've just always been comfortable with chaos, because I grew up, I think losing my dad when I was really young, I think helped, because I was kind of born in chaos, in that chaotic kind of tragic world. And I was always but I was still this bubbly little girl doing a million activities and bouncing around, listening to music. But there's still like that deep sadness in me. But I always was like plugging along. It's all I know, basically. So I'm just I've always thrown myself out there, and I'm just kind of comfortable with like Survivor, like coronavirus. That's my jam. Like survival, like Bear Grylls up in here. Throw me anywhere, and I will find my way out. I'm a good person to have on your team if you want to survive
an apocalypse.
Throughout anything, yeah. So this is kind of my thing, and that's like when I thrive. And I approach it kind of like business. It's like, okay, XYZ, step 1, 2, 3. Like, what do we have to do in order to? What's the end goal? Survival. And what do I have to do to stay here?
What are those like hard moments like? Because I remember following your story, and there was a day your white blood cells were too low, so you couldn't get chemo. Like, do you have those down days, and how do you talk yourself out of that?
Do I have down days? Yes. Not too many considering what's going on. I'm very proud that I seem to be doing better than most who don't have cancer throughout this saga of coronavirus. Yeah, it's just emotional. Like, I think I'm such a deep thinker that it's hard to not have those thoughts and those dark thoughts and look into every sign, because I'm a big sign person.
Yeah, me too.
So if I overread signs, I'm like, oh my God, that just means I'm not going to be here. That's like that's, my head just starts going crazy, and I have to calm myself down and, get the mojo back, either, read a book, do a little walk, or eat some healthy food, and God, just drinking a lot of water, just keep my body and mind as healthy as possible to fight off those negative thoughts that creep in. I seriously don't know how I do it. I don't know what to tell you, but I just bounce back. I'm very resilient.
Mm-hmm.
I'm resilient, and if I have a bad day, I sleep it off, and I wake up, and I'm a better person the next day. And yeah,
you have to fight through it no matter what's like coming at you. Like, what like made you that way? Because even when you're saying when you're younger and now, you've had hard things in your life, and people can take those hard things and go down a negative path and not become successful like you, or have this positive mindset, and something within you makes you not go that route.
You know what? My family is so loving, and like I was very spoiled with love and affection. And, I grew up with, although I lost my father and also my grandmother when I was really young, my mom had 6 other brothers and sisters, and we just had a big loving family. And also we grew up a heavy partying family. Like, I grew up around partying and music and fun and life. And obviously that's kind of, that's a lot of who I am. And I think that's why, it's another reason why I'm so tough, is because, I've been telling a lot of people this, but I grew up, drinking, partying, and having a good time. Chicago is a huge party city. Obviously, you're from there. And I feel like I honestly credit Chicago and partying to my strength and my my survival, because we are not weak little wusses. We are strong women, and we can keep up with boys, so to speak.
Yeah, and you have to believe that though, because I look at you, and not everyone believes that. I get a cold. I'm one of those people where I get a cold and I'm like, I don't feel good, and it's just, you just took everything by the horns, and you're like, bring it. I'm going to just be strong. I'm here to survive.
Yeah, pretty much. But you know what? Speaking of being sick, what helps a lot, and this is so crazy, like I barely ever get sick. I never ever get sick. And then all of a sudden I have cancer. But even though my cells have been so low from the chemo, and I'm so susceptible to picking things up, I think there's once in 6 months that I got like a little hint of a bug, and then I started feeling really shitty. And sorry, can I say that?
Yeah.
I started feeling really crummy, and I I was like, oh my God, this is it. It's downhill from here. This is how I'm going to feel the whole time. And I didn't know. And so I was really sad, and, you know, I was crying, and I was invited. I remember I was invited to a Coldplay concert, and I think I wasn't able to go. And then, or I didn't feel like, you know, I didn't feel like it was safe for me to go. And then I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go. And I pushed myself to go. And I remember just crying though, like thinking this was going to be my last concert. Again, that's like those little negative thoughts that creep in. But now I'm thinking, wait a second, that wasn't fear of death. Maybe that was like the coronavirus. And I just didn't, I don't know. I just had a sense of, I just had this, oh, this is going to be my last show. I'm not going to be able to go to another concert. Well, nobody can.
Yeah, nobody can. The whole world.
I get sick and no one can go to concerts or party anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, you're when the party doesn't start till you walk in. So if you don't walk in, the whole world obviously shuts down.
So maybe when I'm cancer free, I think when the coronavirus ends, I think it's all going to be on the same day. Marisa is cured and coronavirus is wiped out. I think it's going to happen.
Yes. And what's different about, like, how did things change with coronavirus and having cancer? Because, you know, I think everyone, if you're not dealing with an illness like we're all worried, but you don't see directly what's happening with someone like you. What are the differences and what was going through your head?
Well, you know, I have stayed inside, but I've been trying, aside from my walk today, I've only been outside a few times, and that's just to go on like a very socially distant walk or hike. Just like, God, probably 4 or 5 times. I've been stuck in this studio downtown LA. And, you know, just being able to get a hold of groceries is really hard. Like, people have asked, you know, if I need help and stuff. And it is, you know, it's scary sometimes, because it's like, oh my God, is this Target delivery going to be the one that does me?
Yeah, I feel that way too.
Whole Foods and Target and all the, you know, the delivery. So I've just been doing that. And the problem is I do have a little like chemo brain, so I get a little like, and I just lose my thought all of a sudden. But so bear with me. But yeah, the surgery, we talked about the surgery when I you know, for your article online. Yeah, that was the most nerve-wracking, is when all of this started, and when the hospitals were getting slammed with COVID patients. I was like, whoa, wait a second. I started reading articles how transplants were getting canceled and cancer patients were losing their surgeries. I had mine scheduled all along, thankfully, but I was like, oh my God, like my surgery is going to get canceled. What am I going to do? Oh my God. I might have to go to Mexico, like back in
Yeah, you're trying to figure out. But then it's like, how can I go to Mexico now? They've closed all the borders.
Right. Or I need to fly to Switzerland. Switzerland's not going to let me in, or like anywhere in Europe to get the surgery. So yeah, I get a little dramatic at times, but is it really though? It's really not dramatic. Look what's happened to our world. So honestly, it's kind of the way you have to think and be prepared. I called a backup cancer hospital, 2 actually, one where my mom lives in Florida, just in case. And they, you know, one of them said they would help if something happened, but if it was a nationwide thing, I'd be screwed. But statewide, if it was a California thing, at least I was trying to have a backup plan. But and as of now, and I'm nervous because things are starting to relax in other states, and I know the governor of California is still being strict here because everyone's scared of that second wave of the virus. But with all the people at the beaches and everyone kind of, you know, getting back out there, I'm like, oh, you guys, not yet, because it's the second wave of this thing, and then the hospital, you know, it could be even crazier than the first time, and then I'm kind of screwed. So yeah, that's a little nerve-wracking, but I'm feeling positive, and I have 3 weeks literally, I think, from today, and I can't wait to get that out of me. Just having cancer in you and like during the coronavirus is not the greatest feeling.
Yeah, no, it's terrifying. And after your surgery, are you out of the woods, or, you know, do you still have to look at your white blood cells? And
so this is just the beginning, kind of, for me, which is crazy. So with triple negative, since it's so aggressive, and by the time you find the tumor, it's most likely to maybe have spread. They think hopefully I'm okay, but you just don't know for sure because of the microscopic cells that get out. You just have no idea. So unless they leave the tumor in because, first of all, they want to shrink the tumor. I'm not having my breast removed. I'm just having a lumpectomy because the statistics are around the same, they said. So They said it's my preference, and they said I wouldn't do a major surgery right now. So I'm just getting it out. Just, they're going to cut me open right here, take a couple lymph nodes out, test those. So I don't even know if it's in my lymph nodes yet, is the crazy part. And everything seems okay for now. There's no huge reason to panic. However, I just don't know yet. So, and this disease is most likely, even if I'm cancer free, well, if the chemo works all the way, it's called a pathological pathological complete response or something. But if it works all the way, then I think my chances of survival are like pretty high, like 90% like most stage 1 and 2 breast cancer patients. But if it hasn't worked all the way, we have no way to tell if those cells have gotten out, and if they're in my lymph nodes, there's a chance that they've been circulating through my body. So the thing with triple negative is if it comes back outside of the breast, that's considered metastatic cancer, and then there's nothing that they can do for you, basically. So that would kind of be it, unless I really am superwoman and I can live for X amount of years. But not going to go there. I'm just saying what like the worst end of the spectrum is for triple negative patients. But as of now, it's it's stage 2. We just don't know how well the chemo worked. I'm hoping it worked all the way. And then I'll do 7 to 8 weeks of radiation after, to make sure, even if I have a full response, just to make sure even one little teeny little cell wasn't still hanging by a thread in there. So I have to go to radiation every day, which that's not going to be the greatest fun for me.
During the coronavirus, I think even when the world starts to open up, you think about, the story. I mean, everyone, we still have to be vigilant, but for you, the story doesn't end. You're until there's a vaccine, and even without a vaccine, you still really will have to protect yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to stay in my place and chill and like make lunch and talk to you, but when I have to go to radiation every single day, it's just like putting me out there more, and being around all these all these other patients, medical professionals, and we don't know who has what.
I don't even know.
So I'm just hoping everything's a little more under control then. And also, this is worth mentioning, if I don't have a complete response with the chemo, there's one more thing I can do. There's a pill. There's some kind of pill I can take that'll help. I think it's like a kind of a chemo pill. It's kind of just a last ditch attempt. It's like the only other thing you can do, because once chemo just doesn't, if this didn't work, then you can't just like try it again. Like if the cells aren't getting killed from the chemo regimen, like you can't just, that's it. Like if it's not working, it's not working. So there's one other little thing I could try. And other than that, it's kind of just like Hail Mary, just try to be stress-free for a few years. Once you get past the 3 years, then you're out of the woods, because it's so aggressive. It usually comes back within 3 years. So with most breast cancer patients, it's 5 years, 5 to 10. They say really you're good after 10 years, but for mine, after 3, your survival goes up like crazy. So yeah, I have to make it 3 more years. God, what am I gonna do?
So, we only have a few minutes left, so I have a few questions. First, do you think if your mindset wasn't as like coming at it so strong and positive, do you think your process through chemo and recovery would have been different?
Oh my God. If I wasn't so positive, it would have been a nightmare. I mean, I can't even, I mean, some people I know couldn't handle even the first week. And I mean, and you have 5 months of, that's insane. And just all that isolation and kind of just, laying around and being by yourself. And I do believe, just some days when I'm not feeling so good and I'm a little more negative than normal, I feel like I don't feel as well. And then the second that I start putting good foods in my system and having good thoughts and taking care of myself, then I start feeling better, and it's easier to take care of those symptoms and deal with it. I really want to advocate early mammogram testing, because, at 39 years old, it was probably there maybe since I was like 37, 38. And I feel like if I would have done it sooner, I would not have been dealing with what I'm dealing with now, and I still don't know if there's lymph node involvement or not. My tumor's still here. I get it removed in a few weeks, but I just kind of was laying down and just went like, you know, and just started kind of playing with it. I just put my hand on it and I was like, whoa, what the hell's that? I just kind of knew. I leapt out of bed and yeah, I got immediate anxiety, and I was on the phone with a doctor, and I was like, I need to get in right now. I have this huge lump, and just like came out of nowhere. I had just gone to a checkup too, which I think is important to mention. So if you go to the doctor and you get a checkup, this was a routine exam, and she missed it, but I will say it probably wasn't, you can't really feel it until it is divided a certain amount of times. For example, this maybe wasn't, you couldn't feel it maybe like a month prior or whatever. But for the women that go in and just have their doctor do a check and they think they're good, no, because that happened to me. And I just, yeah, any tiny little thing that happens to me, I'm on the horn with my doctor immediately. And I think, thank God, because I don't know, if I was anybody else, I probably wouldn't have even found it by now. I'm here for other fighters, people who are just getting diagnosed, and I really want to give back.
What is like your mantra through all of this?
You know what's funny? I can't think of one, but I'm gonna share a song there. I've been really obsessed with the Raconteurs and Brendan Benson throughout this whole thing. Raconteurs came out with this album, Help a Stranger, last year, and and there's a song, and I remember listening to it in the beginning of like when I got diagnosed, and it's something like, I'm here right now, I'm not dead yet, I'm here right now, I'm not dead yet. And you just kind of jump around and experience that and yell it out, and just, you know, be happy that you're here. So you're here, I'm here today. It's like, we're all gonna die. I could go outside and get hit by a car, cancer or not. So, you know, you got to live it up and just feel good and stop worrying about the future. So I'm going to get some results in a few weeks, but hey, if I would have sat around worrying for 6 months, I probably would have been committed by now. So, yeah, there's nothing I can control. And when I get that news, then I will process it and deal with it. It's like, I could be fine. I could be like it could be completely out of my body. And all of a sudden I'm worrying for 6 months, and then other health problems are blooming because I've been so worried about dying and having this cancer not be taken care of. And I may not have anything to worry about right now. Like, we don't even know yet. You start getting these thoughts and you start obsessing and you start going online and going down this Google hole. And that's not good. You know, you should go to someone who has gone through it and can kind of lift you out of there and give you some accurate information and a good perspective. And I want to be one of those people. So,
well, I want to thank you so much for like being one of those people. I mean, even without any of this, you changed my life. You're the reason my dreams came true. I really credit. I know I worked hard, but like, you believed in me and gave me a chance, and that's the reason I am where I am today. And I'm just glad that you're healing, because like, you make the world a better place, and I'm really happy to share your story. Before we leave, where can everybody find you if they want to follow you?
Sullivan Marisa is my Instagram. Sullivan, SULLIVAN. Marisa, MARISA. And then I have a website, marisasullivan.com. I'm trying to keep up to date. A lot of time on my hands.
Well, perfect. I'll link all of that below. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll see you guys next time with the next dose of bliss. Bye.